Hello, my lovely soul, and welcome to Unstoppable Confidence. I am your host, Lauren Glick. I am here to bring you my energy, my motivational speaking, and me being a confidence mentor. My mission is to inspire women to own who they are, step into their higher selves fearlessly, and live a life with unstoppable joy. On this show, we are going to cover everything from aligning your life to your higher self, setting boundaries, self-growth, and living a purpose-driven life. Let's get you living a meaningful life you cannot wait to wake up to. Stop driving and start living with ease and abundance. Cheers to living a magical life. And I am so grateful to be on this journey with you. Now, let's head into today's episode. Hello, my lovely, and today on Unstoppable Confidence, we have Kelley Tyan, and she is a motivational speaker, nutrition and fitness coach, and also an author. Gosh, I'm tripping over my words, maybe because she's so inspiring, but I absolutely love this conversation today with really building on the things that we could do on a daily basis to really increase our confidence within ourselves. And it has everything to do with the trust that we put in ourselves and the things that we're telling ourselves we're going to do, and we actually do them. So I cannot wait to get this interview started, and I will see you on the other side. Okay, so today we have Kelley on Unstoppable Confidence. I am so excited to have you here today. For everyone tuning in, Kelley is a nutrition, fitness, I was going to say nutrition, fitness, and author, but I really wanted to head in there of fitness, nutrition coach, and she is also an author. So Kelley, would love for you to kind of dive deep on what you do and kind of give a little bit of background on how you got started into the coaching arena.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course.
It's an honor to be here. I'm excited to have this conversation with you. I love talking about confidence.
Me too.
Yes. So I basically grew up as I'm an only child, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my backstory because it ties into who I am today. I grew up with two loving parents. My mom and I were best friends, the best woman in the world. She was all my girlfriends wrapped up in one person, my whole entire life. Yes, it's amazing. She just was that person. And she also suffered extreme rheumatoid arthritis from the moment I was born.
Wow.
But she walked around always my whole entire life, 33 major surgeries, 4 near-death experiences, scarred from head to toe. But she always had a smile. She always had mascara on and always told me I have to put lipstick on no matter what I do in life. So if you could think about this woman suffering in her body physically her whole life, and me as a little girl watching all this, she just never showed it. And she was a very strong woman. So she was a super strong influence in my life and really told me I was Wonder Woman from a little girl all the way into my adulthood. So fast forward, as I was thinking about my life, what am I going to do with my life after I went to college and thought I wanted to be a teacher, an elementary teacher, actually, I realized that's not for me. I did try it for about 5 years and I just wasn't happy in that place of with all those little children. I love my own kids, but no one else's. No, I'm only kidding. I just didn't want to be teaching 3rd and 4th grade. I just didn't, I wasn't being fulfilled. So I liked fitness. I always had worked out. I wanted to really take care of myself because watching my mom, who couldn't do anything, really even pushed me to make sure I always did something. And because, I was scared growing up that maybe I was going to get this. And I just always wanted to make sure I was moving and doing something in that way physically. So I went from teaching and I taught as I was teaching, I did network marketing, which I loved. And that really taught me a lot about myself and how money can be earned if you work really hard. Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
And at that moment, a couple guy friends of mine were opening up a gym in my town. And I said, I'd love to start an all women's boot camp because
Ooh.
I love moving my body. And they were like, sure, go get certified though, because you can't just do this. And so I actually went and got CrossFit certified because they were opening up a CrossFit gym. And I started with that, teaching CrossFit. I had 12 women in my class, having the best time. And I just said, this is where I'm supposed to be. I love making women feel great. I know they are coming into my class, walking out differently every single time because they're feeling stronger. They're feeling motivated to eat better. But yet I noticed a pattern. I noticed that they were working out, but yet they didn't have a really strong belief system about themselves that they could lose the weight. Although they were happy, like I said, something was missing. And for me, I grew up very faith-based. My mom was just very spiritual and instilled a deep faith in God. And that's how I grew up. And I wanted to help these women have that deep faith, not only in God, because whatever they believed was okay, but in themselves. Because I noticed they didn't have a belief in themselves that they could actually lose the 25 pounds. They still came to my classes, but I knew they weren't ultimately excited because they carried weight. They had burdens. They were stressed out. Their hormones were crazy. So I really started getting into the nutrition side of it to help them find out, well, let's not diet per se. Let's start eating better and showing them how to eat better. So I got certified in my nutrition so I could teach them. And it just kept going from there. I loved bringing these women into a whole. So it's mind, body, and, physical body, and it goes in mindset and building their confidence. And that's really how my journey has been. It's been evolving. I did fitness competitions for a while to see how my body could change so I could coach other women to do the same thing. And and today I wrote a book. My brand is all about being addicted to the climb. So I'm all about keeping and helping women get on the climb in their lives and create a healthy mindset and a healthy body and build more faith in their life. So that's really what my book is about. And that just kind of I know it was kind of fast.
No, it wasn't fast. It was all inclusive. And I loved the story because you know me and my autoimmune issues as well. So I loved the story about your mom. I didn't know that story. So it makes a lot of sense of why you are insistent on helping women really love and own their bodies. I think it's really important. And as you were saying, that combination of the movement, nutrition, but also mindset. And I kind of started out, well, I definitely started out coaching as a personal trainer as well. And predominantly what I was doing was just helping women own their confidence walking into a packed gym of men. So it all makes sense of why you started out in fitness and moved along your journey. So I love that. And I do want to ask you because I know you are an author as well. And when did you start coaching fitness? Like how long have you been a coach? When did you leave being an elementary school teacher?
I left that when I was like in my young 30s. So basically 2000. And so around 2005, I decided I didn't want to teach anymore. And that's when I was still doing my network marketing company. So that was sustaining me. I was meeting a lot of people because I was showing my products to everyone and anyone that would listen to me. And that's really how I met so many local people in my community. I was doing those at-home parties. So when a year or two later, when I opened the doors to the boot camp,
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a following to get 12 women into this class.
I love it.
Yeah,
And
that
I
was
think that's really important to mention because there's some people that are very anti multi-level marketing. And I think it's so important to understand what the positives of MLMs are because it does provide
oh yeah.
community all in one. And if you're listening right now and you haven't, if you're totally anti MLM and you're kind of struggling to grow a community, I really do advocate for MLMs.
100%. I mean, I was in rooms with women. I would go to the trainings, and that's how you're going to
Yep.
meet people. And, there's, again, sky's the limit for the money that you can be making too. So
Yeah.
it's a great avenue if you're looking to get involved. Like you said, meet
Yeah.
people. Just if you love something, you're already using a product,
Yeah.
you're just sharing it. So I think it does
Yeah.
have a bad stereo. I don't know.
It really does. And it's interesting because on social media, as we were talking before, Instagram is kind of like it has its challenges on getting out. And if you grow a community on Instagram, it gets a lot easier. And yeah, I think MLMs are one of those things that already have that built-in community. So you're meeting people that have a like-minded mentality and are looking to grow themselves as humans. So I really do love MLMs for anyone that are starting out as entrepreneurs because it has everything that you need to learn as an entrepreneur of sales and community building and getting out on lives and showing your face. And there's a lot to entrepreneurship and it has like the built-in background of it all. So it's
Definitely.
a lot more easy.
Yes,
So
that was my training for what I'm doing today. Honestly,
yep.
I learned way more in doing network marketing than any other area. They really did. You said sales, community, team building,
Yeah.
how to be a team player, how to work alongside other people and lift each other up because
Yep.
that's, no one, there's room at the top for everyone in that space.
Yes.
So I loved that.
I love it too.
Yeah.
So when you were writing, how let's talk about your book
Okay.
writing process because I think it's really important because it could be like an overwhelming topic of writing a book. What is your book called? What is it
Okay.
about?
So my book and my podcast are both called Addicted to the Climb.
Love it.
Thank you. I started writing my book about 3 years ago because I've been through a lot in my life, as most people. And through it all, fitness was my backbone. It really got me through. My faith and my fitness really helped me to just get through the things I got through in my life. And so I put together 30 personal stories just to help people stay on their climb because life is a climb, as we know. And if we stop climbing, we're going backwards. If we stop climbing, we're in the same place. If we stop climbing in our health, for an example, then you're going to be in the same place you are today, 1 year from now. So we have to stay climbing. And the book is really very short personal stories to give people hope, courage, and strength to stay on the climb. And I have fitness stories because, listen, it wasn't always easy. My fitness journey. I mean, I suffered with body image and body shaming and tearing myself apart so much to a point I created a hashtag called Revenge Mind
Oh, no
because
way.
yes, because I was so tired of the way I was talking to myself because I competed, as I told you, and I won. I'm a 4-time champion, which I'm very proud of.
Yeah.
It also came with some side effects. And some of them, although I had a great experience and met so many people and learned about my body and how to train it in that way, I always thought I needed to look like I did on the stage. And when I didn't look like that and I looked normal, I would beat myself up and it was awful and I was embarrassed. And I thought I should look like I did walking across that stage and it just wasn't happening. So my book is a compilation of a lot of different stories. I'm a breast cancer survivor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, my mom is the basis of my book as well. And my dad had a rare blood cancer a few years
Wow.
back. So lots of different stories just to help people. And like my podcast is around the same topics. Like I had you on my podcast and we're talking about how to help women in particular create more confidence in their life that if I can do it, you can do it.
Oh, yeah.
Why not? I always say, why why not you? If I'm doing it, why not you too? I'm no different. I go through the same struggles. I have the same issues. I cry myself to sleep sometimes, it's
Yeah.
all the same stuff. So that's what my book is for. I want women to just feel that they can stay on the climb with whatever life throws at them. So
I love that. I love that they're short stories. One of my favorite books is a compilation of a number of short stories, and it's an easy read, but
yes,
it was so jam-packed full of insightful stories. So those are my favorite kind of books to read. So I will have to probably buy your book and read that
yes.
too.
That's the feedback coming
Yeah.
in. People love because they're a page and a half each little
Yep.
story. It gets to the point
Mhm.
and you feel good.
Yeah, I love it.
Thanks.
And getting to the next question, because as I was talking about my favorite book, do you have a favorite book that is nonfiction that you've gotten a lot of insight and inspiration from?
I have, and I would always pick it up. I haven't picked it up in a little while, and I
Mhm.
was going to pull it out. That's funny you're asking me.
Yeah.
It's called Chasing Cupcakes, and
Oh, never
nothing to
heard
do
of
with
it.
cupcakes. It's amazing. It's just a woman's journey of being super overweight, feeling ashamed, body image, and how she broke out of it. But it's amazing. She gives you so many tips and strategies and mindset work to really just uncover why you're going for these goals and why other people's opinions don't matter and comparing yourself doesn't get you anywhere. It's
Yeah.
very motivational.
Interesting, because that's such a topic that is not talked about of the, well, I guess depending on where you're at, but I don't want to call it body dysmorphia, but I guess that's what it's called. Of especially in America, I have never really traveled. I've lived in America my whole life. So I understand that there are these expectations for women to look a certain way. And if you're not that way, then this whole diet fad thing is a real challenge. And I was definitely on that diet fad for most of my life until, a couple years back when I was like, oh, you just eat healthy and you could eat like a cupcake and you won't be obese. So it's like, I love the topic of just, and it's interesting because once you get it, you're talking about it and it sounds so simple, but it's
Mhm.
so hard to
So
get
hard.
across to somebody else.
It absolutely is. It is so simple, but
Mhm.
I walked in their shoes. I know what it's
Yep.
like. I was a complete junk foodie to the
Yeah.
nines. I think I only ate McDonald's for a while. And
Yeah.
so I didn't even eat a vegetable until I was in my 30s. And I'm not
Wow.
joking. Yes, like my young
Wow.
30s. I didn't like them. So I understand. I can relate. I was never obese,
Mhm.
thankfully, but I wasn't happy and I
Yeah.
wasn't healthy on the inside. So I get that whole thing. And simple eating is
Yeah.
just that simple, yet it's so hard for so many, like you said.
Yep. And how did you make that transformation from not supporting your body into, oh, it's simple to support your body?
Well, when I started competing, that was
Yeah.
one part of it. But when I
Mm.
also got diagnosed with breast cancer, I knew I had to really take a stand for myself and, dial it in. And what I thought was healthy really wasn't at
Mm.
different times. I didn't realize I needed to really eat vegetables every day so I could, especially heading into my 40s,
Yeah.
your body works like a machine. And if you're not feeding it the right nutrients, you're going to be tired, flighty. You're going to have all these symptoms if you're not eating clean. I say God made foods. If you're buying store bought boxes and things in bags all the time, you're
Yeah.
not going to feel your ultimate self, like your ultimate health.
Yeah.
So I realized that. So I kept trying different things. I always had a coach coaching me along the way.
Mhm.
And the more I did it, the better I felt, the more it just became, I started creating momentum in that. And I liked the way I felt. So although I was working out, like I said, since I was in high school, I was
Yeah.
always in the gym, but I felt different. and these foods were making me feel different. And I also, Lauren, suffered with migraines from when I was 8 years old, and
Oh,
bad in and out of the hospital. And I used to get shots in the back of my neck and get nerve blockers. And I was on medicine for years, and I would get these migraines. And I wanted to see if I could actually cure myself by getting rid of sugar. And that was the first thing I did, as scary as it was to me, because I was a sugar fanatic. I mean,
yeah.
I drank coffee with my sugar, like my coffee was made up of sugar and cream with a little coffee in it.
Yeah.
So I get it when people say, well, it's so hard, Kelley. I'm like, no, if I can do it, you actually can, because I drink black coffee now, and it's crazy. But back to your question. Yeah. The more I created that momentum and feeling good all the time, I wanted to keep going. So yes, I still have the cupcakes. I had some chocolate molten lava cake this weekend, my wine, but I know how to balance it now. It's a lot easier.
No, and that balance, and that's the thing, is that sugar is so addictive that we just, and it's so prevalent that it's not even like in all those boxes, there's so much sugar in them. And if you go to the produce aisle, there is no sugar in this.
Exactly. And if you're one that's sweet something, then try some different fruits.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to have your God candy. I say, it's like real candy from the earth, though. You're not going to get sick from it.
Oh, 100%. Totally agree. And that sugar is, 100%. I could go on about that too, but it's interesting. I used to be really addicted to sugar too, but Yeah,
you just have to make a decision. It wasn't serving me anymore. My headaches were coming from something. And I knew deep down I was just eating too much of it. So when I started coming off it, it was a game changer for me. That's
completely agree. Completely agree.
Yes.
So the next question is, because I love podcasting, so do you. What is one of your favorite podcasts that you are very consistent on listening to?
So I told you about my mom
from
the beginning, my very best friend. I lost her 4 years ago. So, and she had an aneurysm. So it was very sudden. It was like in a moment she was here, I was picking her up, and that was it. And let me just tell you, the podcast 4 years ago, I didn't really know much about podcasts and podcasting. And but I had a girl that I knew from back in our fitness days, Lori Hatter. I'm sure you know who she is.
Yes, I do.
So I'm like, Lori came up with this podcast, and I love her, and we have known each other for years, and it's called Earn Your Happy. And let me just tell you, it got me through grief. It got me to create more abundance in my life in so many ways. And to this day, I think she has like 600 episodes.
Yeah.
So that's one that I will never stop listening to, because it was so much a part of my transformation, like helping me get out of my grief and picking myself back up and getting back on the climb. So I
love that. I love her husband's podcast as well. Because it's all about business. So that's one of my favorite that I listen to on a daily basis.
They're awesome. I love them.
They are. And I think because it's interesting. I don't know. Gosh, because I started my podcast about a year ago. So I've always listened to them, but I love listening to them because you could listen to them anywhere. It's not like being on Instagram and you have to scroll. It's something that you could do while you're walking, or you're on a run, or you're grocery shopping. I love podcasting, and I'm in love with like this whole new world. So
the same, me too. I love it.
And I really want to kind of like, is there like a smaller podcast that you listen to? Because I want to know one that I don't know yet.
Well, let me see. So I listen to, if you're looking for business tips, I mean, she's faith-based, but one of my favorite girls, and she's one of my coaches. Her name is Stephanie Gass.
I'll have to check her out.
She's amazing business coach for women.
Okay.
That and her niche is women podcasters.
Ooh, and what is the name of the
The,
podcast?
the Stephanie Gass
Oh,
Show.
GAS?
GASS.
Okay, I'll have to check
Yes.
her
And
out.
it's STEF, not PH.
Got it. Because
Yes.
it's so inspiring. And that's why I
Yes.
love podcasting as well, because it's kind of like a networking thing as well.
Exactly. I want to, so that's how I am. I want to constantly input things like when I'm cleaning my house or making dinner. I always have a podcast on, but I want to learn, see what others are doing so I can level up in whatever way I'm looking to level up. So I do like the business ones that cater to women.
Oh, yeah.
And, so, I mean, I listen, one of my oldest ones, along with Lori Hutter, Shalene Johnson. She's one of the ones I listened to her from way back. But yeah, those are good. I think you'd like Stephanie.
They are. I'll have to check out Stephanie's if you like Lori's and Shalene's. Those two are iconic for sure. So I'll have to check the Stephanie's out. And another question for inspiration. I am definitely, I don't want to call myself a dork, but I have like little inspirational quotes everywhere. What is one of your favorite inspirational quotes?
I'm the same way. I love quotes. I like thrive on quotes.
Yeah.
They do. They change things for you in an instant.
Really do.
You're down and you're not feeling it. And you read a quote, you get that immediate rush, right?
Yeah.
It does. It makes a difference. And so one of my favorites that's in my book is Winnie the Pooh.
He had some good quotes.
Do you know this one?
Probably. Well, let's see.
Promise me you'll always remember you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. And I love that. I'm always reminding myself, okay, I'm braver than I think. I'm stronger than I believe.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one. Because I have one, I guess, because this one was one that I just taped on my desk. I had a number of them. My favorite one is from Gandhi, and it's happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are all in harmony.
I love it. I love it. It's so true.
And speaking of that, so because it's interesting, like we could say a lot of things, but our actions won't match. And that's why I love that quote so much, is because we all have the best intentions, but if you're not like working for it, then it's like, well, they're just words. For women out there listening, what do you do to help women along the way? If somebody's listening and they're like, I am looking for somebody to help me with my fitness and nutrition, what are your group courses that are going on right now?
So first, I do have a free ebook on my site, and it's called the Doers Method Framework. And I use that a lot in my coaching. And I'm bringing it up because I really take women through the DOERS. And basically, it's just decide and disrupt your own thinking, organize your thoughts, because if we don't organize our thoughts and our time, we're going to be scattered and all over the place, especially if we're going for a health goal or a weight loss goal. The G-O and the E is exercise, but not just your body. You have to exercise your mind. Just like we said, listen to a podcast that's going to stimulate you or challenge you in a new way. It's about both. And then rise up above the storms, because listen, the storms are going to come. We know that no matter what, you just get so excited, start that weight loss journey. And then what happens? You have a 50th birthday party, and you're like, so many women just get stuck. Oh, I have this big party. What am I going to do? It's okay. Rise above it. You've already had a party. I'm sure you had 50 before. I mean, how many parties can we go to this time? You got to do it a little differently. Maybe you're not going to eat the cake for once. Right. So it's like rising up. And then the main thing I preach all the time is show up, because nobody's going to show up for you. If you don't get the workout clothes on, if you don't organize your grocery list, if you don't have a why you're doing something and you're not showing up for yourself, time's going to fly and you are going to be in the same place in a week, a year, 5 years from now. So that's really to sum up my coaching. However, I do have structured nutrition programs that I take women through week by week and teach them how to fuel their bodies so they lose weight, feel good in various eating styles. And then I do have my signature workout programs as well. And right now I'm in the process. I just been, my book came out in December. So,
oh, I didn't know it was a newer thing.
So that's
can you buy your book on Amazon too?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
It's on Amazon. Yes. So, just mapping out my next things right now. I know summer's coming, so women want to get in shape physically because the clothing comes off. Not for you. You're in California. For
it's always hot out here.
It's always warm. You're always wearing less clothes than us. But where I am up in Boston, they're going to start shedding. Everyone starts to panic come March.
I know. And it's like, you can't do things at the moment you need it to be done. You need to have a couple months for the progress.
Now. Exactly.
I saw and it has nothing to do with fitness, but it kind of does. I saw a post on social media saying like good things take time. And I was talking about like NFTs and Bitcoin and stuff and like Tesla. And if you had invested and kept going with that certain investment, it was saying like Tesla took like 21 years to actually start reaping all the benefits until it was like a brand name. Bitcoin, it was like 12 years. So it was like an extended amount of time, but you think that they happened overnight, but they don't.
It's the same thing with your health.
Yeah.
It does take time. It's a journey. And the reward is all in the journey. You just got to stay on the journey. You like not give up because you don't have a 6-pack in 2 weeks or it's like, it's just like the Tesla thing. Like you have to stay with it to reap the results.
100%. And that's like, even with building a business, anything, people just expect like this instant gratification because that's kind of the society we live in today. But the most successful people are the ones consistently showing up, even if they're not seeing anything in the very moment. So I love that, Kelley. And then where can people find you? Where do you most hang out on social media? If somebody was looking to follow you, where can they do that? All the good things.
So I hang out mostly on Facebook. I know that sounds crazy.
I know.
But I interact so much with people there. I am on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
And they're both Kelley Tyan. KELLEYTYAN. So I'm both. So either platform is great. I mean, my podcast is out, Addicted to the Climb. They can tune in if they want to hear your episode.
Yes.
That's coming out. So,
I love it. And then you have your book on Amazon as well, right? So those will all be listed in the show notes. And is there any last inspiration that you would love to give to listeners, just for one last thought?
So my last thought is probably just for people to not beat themselves up and just try to be 1% better than you were yesterday. If you just can be 1% better, maybe it's just adding one more extra bottle of water to the day. That's it. That's a huge win. And you will feel so proud. I promise. You don't have to map out this 2-hour workout for the next 5 days. Just that 1% better than what you did yesterday will get you great results.
100%, right? Because you just keep adding on that little 1% and it just keeps going.
Yes.
So Kelley, thank you so much for being on today and inspiring the women listening, women and men, because I know there's a lot of men listeners too. But I just wanted to say thank you for your time, and for everyone listening, thank you for joining in, and we will catch you on the next episode.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I hope you are so excited about where you're going, because I know I'm excited for you. Thank you so much for listening in today. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you shared it with a girlfriend or posted it on social media. Tag me so I could personally say thank you. I am so grateful. And until next time,